in terms of being an expat, I mean, I started coming to China probably about 10 years ago, a bit more, with work as well as, sort of for personal reasons. My wife Chinese, but I was sort of working at Ernst & Young at the time and coming in, with business for 4 or 5 times a year, and then decided to make the move sort of across to live here, which is, life as an expat is quite different as a fly in, fly out. So the thing is, as I learnt pretty quickly, it was actually quite, when I used to come in, it was basically taking in a nice sort of, nice hotels, nice restaurants and cafes and meeting rooms and that kind of stuff. And then they thought Shanghai was a lovely place, sort of, glitzy sort of, places to sort of meet and be and people to see, and it was all fun. So that was be an awesome place to come. And then living here actually is a bit different. As I found, it was like when you're sort of doing the commute on the metro for every day, and if the getting squashed in and turn up to the office and then trying to also sort of make a buck for yourself. Actually, it's not easy, as we all know. It took a while also for readjustment. I guess it's a big thing to deal with as an expat is change of perceptions. And I always characterise it like of my love of coffee, because I've sort of always been a big sort of coffee lover, and my main sort of drink of choice has been cappuccino. So and I spent about at least 2 or 3 years fruitlessly sort of trying to search for the perfect cappuccino and change. So as a result, my view of China was like, it's a bit like, drinking cappuccino. It's like everything is just really, sort of not that flash. And that was probably my perception of China really for the first couple of years I was here. And then I changed, and I started, a friend of mine told me that China will never change for you. You have to change for it. So that's probably I think the best bit of advice I got as an expat. And then I changed, and I thought, I'll start with my coffee drinking. So I changed from a cappuccino, which I can never really find too much, to a latte, which is because latte is always very milky, and Chinese coffee is very milky. And I wasn't much of a latte connoisseur anyway, so I didn't really know what I was getting. As long as it was drinkable, I drink it. And I found, to my surprise, there's actually quite a few places that make sort of okay latte. So I was pretty much okay with drinking that. So I've sort of stuck to, and that sort of changed my perception, I guess, of China, and allowed me to adjust a lot easier, a lot better than what I had previously, and in my expectations when I first came here trying to find a job, as opposed to starting my own business, which wasn't my intent originally, but it's what has become my life for the last few years, China Business Partners, is the main sort of, I guess, refocuses you and gives you another set of perceptions, another set of things, to focus on, do and be while you're here, which is very important, I think, as an expat. So there's boundless opportunities in places like China, but you really have to sort of, I guess, adjust your own perceptions, your own sort of way of being and who you are to some extent to be flexible enough to take advantage of those. So I think that's probably the biggest thing.